The 2027 NBA season is still a long way off, so don't treat these rankings as something set in stone. Rosters can change, injuries can happen, and one trade can completely reshape the league overnight. But based on how every team looks right now, this is where I believe all 30 franchises stand. To make things easier, I've divided every team into 5 different tiers based on their championship chances. As we climb higher through the rankings, the title conversation becomes much more serious. But before we get to the contenders, we have to start with the teams sitting at the bottom. The lowest tier includes the Brooklyn Nets, Sacramento Kings, Memphis Grizzlies, New Orleans Pelicans, Milwaukee Bucks, Phoenix Suns, Chicago Bulls, and Los Angeles Clippers. Every team here finds itself in a different situation. Some are clearly rebuilding for the future, others probably should begin rebuilding but haven't accepted it yet, and a few are still trying to stay competitive despite having very little chance of making real noise. Right now, none of them look like legitimate threats in the championship picture. That brings us to Tier 4, the teams that could fight for a play-in spot but still have plenty to prove. Starting at number 22 are the Washington Wizards. With Trae Young, Anthony Davis, and AJ Dybantsa leading the roster, there's simply too much talent to place them among the league's weakest teams. The biggest concerns are health and overall depth, but if their stars stay on the court, Washington should be capable of competing most nights. They won't scare the league just yet, but they should be much tougher than people expect. At number 21, I have the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving is expected to return, and alongside Cooper Flagg and Derek Lively, this roster has a solid foundation. Flagg was outstanding during his rookie campaign, and if he takes another major step forward in year 2, Dallas could easily outperform this ranking. The upside is definitely there, but for now, this feels like a fair spot. Coming in at number 20 are the Atlanta Hawks. They were respectable last season and even pushed the New York Knicks further than anyone else, taking them to 6 games. Still, Atlanta feels like a team that's missing another gear. They're competitive, but they're not the kind of opponent that strikes fear into championship contenders. Until that changes, they'll remain stuck around the middle of the pack. At number 19, I've got the Portland Trail Blazers. Pairing Ja Morant with Damian Lillard instantly creates one of the most exciting offensive backcourts in basketball. I expect Ja to bounce back with a huge season after everything he's been through. On offense, this duo should be electric. The problem is what happens on the other end of the floor. Defensively, Morant and Lillard could become one of the league's weakest perimeter pairings, and that's a flaw that's impossible to ignore. Even if Ja returns to all-star form, that defensive ceiling keeps Portland lower than their talent suggests. Number 18 belongs to the Charlotte Hornets. Trading LaMelo Ball undoubtedly lowered their short-term ceiling, but it may have also given the franchise a much clearer long-term direction built around Con Newpel and Brandon Miller. They'll still compete hard next season, but without LaMelo creating easy opportunities for everyone else, there will be stretches where scoring becomes much more difficult. That offensive inconsistency is likely to hold them back.
The difference is that each one also has at least one major weakness preventing them from being viewed as true championship favorites. Beginning this group at number 16 are the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry remains one of the greatest players in the game, Jimmy Butler returns next season, Kristaps Porzingis adds another interesting dimension, and rookie Yaxel Lendeborg fills an important positional need. On paper, there's plenty to like, but the reality is this roster feels fragile. It's aging, lacks depth, and one significant injury could completely derail the season. Their experience keeps them dangerous, but their margin for error has become incredibly small. At number 15, I actually have the Utah Jazz. It might surprise some people, but I believe rookie Darion Peterson is ready to contribute immediately. I wouldn't be shocked if he averages over 20 points per game in his first season. Alongside Keontae George, Utah suddenly has one of the league's most exciting young backcourts. Add Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. to the front court, and this roster suddenly has scoring, size, shooting, and real defensive potential. They'll still experience growing pains because of their youth, but the talent is becoming impossible to overlook. At number 14, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. Any team with Luka Doncic automatically has a high floor because he's capable of carrying an offense almost by himself. Austin Reeves steps into the clear second option role, while Walker Kessler looks like an ideal fit alongside Luka thanks to his rim protection and ability to finish around the basket. The bigger issue is everything the Lakers lost. LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, and Luke Kennard are no longer on the roster, and replacing that much proven NBA talent isn't easy. Luka will almost certainly keep this team competitive throughout the regular season, but until Los Angeles adds more reliable depth, it's difficult to rank them much higher. Coming in at number 13 are the Boston Celtics. Their decision to move Jaylen Brown in exchange for 36-year-old Paul George is still one of the hardest offseason moves to understand. Even if Jason Tatum returns fully healthy, replacing a player in his prime with an older star who has struggled to stay available feels like a clear downgrade. Maybe Boston has another move planned using the draft assets they acquired, but based on the current roster, this is where they belong. Tatum alone keeps them relevant, yet the overall ceiling doesn't look as high as it once did. At number 12, I've got the Houston Rockets. The additions of Isaiah Joe, Kevin Huerter, Taurean Prince, and John Collins should help create more room for Cade Cunningham to operate offensively. The trade-off is that none of those players are elite defenders. When they're on the floor, Detroit's offense should look much smoother, but the defense could take a noticeable step back. When they lean into Asar Thompson and Jalen Duren, the defense improves dramatically, but the offense becomes much more cramped. That's the balancing act this team has to solve. My biggest concern is still James Harden. His playoff history makes it difficult to completely trust him when the pressure reaches its highest point. On top of that, pairing Harden with Mitchell creates defensive issues at the point of attack, and losing Dean Wade removes one of their most versatile defenders. They'll almost certainly rack up regular season wins, but I still have questions about whether this roster can deliver deep into the playoffs.
At number 5, I have the Toronto Raptors. Kawhi Leonard's return to Toronto isn't just a sentimental reunion. It has the potential to completely reshape the Eastern Conference. Unlike his final years with the Clippers, Kawhi would be joining a roster that already has a strong defensive identity and enough young talent to compete immediately. Pairing him with Scotty Barnes and Colby Murray-Boyles creates one of the biggest, most physical, and most versatile frontcourts in the league. Defensively, this group could give just about every opponent problems. In the backcourt, Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Jamal Shead, and Kobe Walter provide quality depth, while Scotty Barnes continues to develop into one of the NBA's premier second options. Murray-Boyles also looks ready to build on an impressive playoff performance from a season ago. Even when Kawhi inevitably misses a few games, Toronto has enough defensive talent to stay competitive. Replacing Brandon Ingram with a healthy Kawhi is simply a massive upgrade on both ends of the floor. Of course, everything depends on the trade officially being completed and Kawhi being fully available. But if both happen, Toronto has a legitimate path back into championship contention. Coming in at number 4 are the Denver Nuggets. Their first-round playoff exit was disappointing, but it also came under difficult circumstances. Once Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson went down with injuries, Denver's defense completely fell apart. The lack of depth became impossible to hide, and the team simply ran out of answers. Even so, their offense remained one of the league's best throughout the season. Nikola Jokic is still firmly among basketball's elite players, while Jamal Murray is coming off one of the strongest regular seasons of his career. During their healthiest stretch, the Nuggets looked like one of the NBA's most dominant teams, finishing the regular season on a lengthy winning streak.
It's easy to imagine a different playoff outcome if Gordon and Watson had stayed healthy. The concern isn't talent, it's time. This roster feels similar to championship teams that slowly declined as injuries accumulated and depth disappeared. Denver absolutely has the ability to win another title, but the room for mistakes gets smaller every single season. Now we reach the final tier, the true championship favorites entering the 2027 NBA season. At number 3 are the defending champion New York Knicks. Knicks fans might not love seeing their team ranked 3rd after winning the title, especially considering one of the teams ahead of them lost in the finals. But this isn't meant to discredit what New York accomplished. They earned that championship.
What made the Knicks so dangerous was their ability to beat opponents in almost every imaginable way. They could dominate inside, knock down perimeter shots, attack from the mid-range, or even run the offense through Karl Anthony Towns in the post. Their offensive versatility made them incredibly difficult to prepare for. More importantly, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Towns all remained together. Losing Mitchell Robinson certainly hurts, but Andre Drummond is still a capable rebounder and interior presence who can handle valuable minutes. The reason they're not higher is simple. Repeating as champions has become incredibly difficult in today's NBA, and there are still defensive matchups that stronger opponents could exploit, particularly involving Brunson and Towns. Expect another excellent regular season before New York becomes even more dangerous once playoff basketball begins, where Jalen Brunson has consistently elevated his game. At number 2 are the Oklahoma City Thunder. Quite honestly, I still believe they're the better overall basketball team than New York. Had these two met in the finals, I probably would have favored Oklahoma City. Their defense is relentless from start to finish. They pressure ball handlers, switch seamlessly, force turnovers, and make every possession feel uncomfortable. Against New York, they likely would have attacked Brunson defensively and forced Towns into difficult situations far more consistently. On the offensive end, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander remains one of the most unstoppable scorers in basketball. Whether people enjoy his style or not, the production speaks for itself. While the Spurs managed to limit him at times by taking away the paint, he's still firmly among the league's top players. Combine that with another elite defensive season and an offense capable of finishing near the top of the league, and Oklahoma City checks almost every box. They're deep, athletic, disciplined, and capable of overwhelming teams on both ends of the floor. Most nights, they'll look like the best team in basketball. But my number 1 team entering the 2027 season is the San Antonio Spurs. Their finals loss shouldn't overshadow everything they accomplished. This was the franchise's first true postseason run with its young core, and they still won 62 regular season games, eliminated a battle-tested Minnesota team, then came back from a 3-2 deficit against the defending Western Conference champions to reach the NBA Finals. That experience alone should make them even stronger moving forward. Victor Wembanyama will continue improving. Stephon Castle is only scratching the surface of his potential, and Dylan Harper should take another major step as well. I also like the addition of Tobias Harris, who brings veteran experience and reliable scoring without disrupting the team's chemistry. Even more importantly, San Antonio still has outstanding depth, with players like Julian Champagnie and Devin Vassell capable of making major contributions regardless of who starts.
The biggest reason I have the Spurs at the top is their balance. They have all the ingredients to become an elite offensive and defensive team at the same time. There's a realistic chance they finish among the NBA's top 5 on both sides of the ball, and that's usually the formula championship teams follow. If the same roster had just one more year of playoff experience, there's a strong argument they could have defeated New York in the finals. Now they'll enter the season with that experience already behind them, making them my early favorite to finish as the league's best team and capture the 2027 NBA championship. Of course, with an entire offseason still ahead, plenty can change. Trades, injuries, and breakout performances will reshape these rankings before opening night finally arrives. But based on every roster as it stands today, this is how I see the NBA landscape heading into the 2027 season. And if there's one team outside the very top that could surprise everyone next year, it's the Utah Jazz. Rookie sensation Deron Peterson has all the tools to make an immediate impact, and if he develops as quickly as many expect, Utah's future could arrive much sooner than anyone imagined.